beautiful butterflies. I apologize, I was not able to make a video for the past like 3 weeks, so I'm very excited actually to be able to finally have time to sit down in front of my notes and talk to you guys. So without further ado, I really felt strongly about discussing and raising awareness this week for schizophrenia. Let's get started. Schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is a chronic and severe mental disorder that affects how a person thinks, feels, and behaves. People with schizophrenia may seem like they have lost touch with reality. Although schizophrenia is not as common as other mental disorders, the symptoms can be very disabling. Symptoms of schizophrenia usually start between ages 16 and 30. In rare cases, children experience symptoms of schizophrenia too. The symptoms of schizophrenia fall into 3 categories. The categories being positive, negative, and cognitive. Schizophrenia involves a range of problems with thinking, which is the cognitive part, behavior, or emotions. Signs and symptoms may vary, but usually involve delusions, hallucinations, or disorganized speech and reflect an impaired ability to function. Symptoms may include delusions. Delusions are the false beliefs that are not based in reality. For example, you think that you're being harmed or harassed. Certain gestures or comments are directed at you. You have exceptional ability or fame. Another person is in love with you, or a major catastrophe is about to occur. Delusions occur in most people with schizophrenia. Hallucinations. Hallucinations are usually involving seeing or hearing things that don't exist. Yet, for the person with the schizophrenia, they have the full force and impact of a normal experience, as if they're really experiencing it, they're really seeing it. So, hallucinations can be in any of the senses, but hearing voices is the most common hallucination. To clarify on that, hallucinations being with any of the senses basically is saying like you can feel like you have bugs on you, or you can see the bugs and feel the bugs, or you can hear things like actual voices, like how sometimes I'll hear my husband call me and he didn't even say anything. It's just stuff like that. So that's basically what a hallucination is. It's when your 6 senses are basically, I want to say altered would be the word to use, because you're not experiencing what's really happening. You're experiencing what your body is forcing you to experience. So I hope that helped clarify that a little bit. The next symptom of schizophrenia is disorganized thinking. Disorganized thinking is inferred from disorganized speech. Effective communication can be impaired, and answers to questions may be partially or completely unrelated. Rarely, speech may include putting together meaningless words that can't be understood, and sometimes known as word salad. Extremely disorganized or abnormal motor behavior. This may be shown in a number of ways, like childlike silliness to unpredictable agitation. Behavior isn't focused on a goal, so it's hard to do tasks. Behaviors can include resistance to instructions, inappropriate or bizarre posture, a complete lack of response, or useless and excessive movements. And the last symptom that I have here is called the negative symptoms, and this refers to the reduced or lack of ability to function normally. For example, the person may neglect personal hygiene or appear to lack of emotion. They don't make eye contact, they don't change facial expressions or speak in like a expressful way. They speak very monotone. They have no type of rhythm or emotion in their voice. They're just straight monotone. And also, the person may have those interests in everyday activities, socially withdrawal, or lack the ability to experience pleasure. Symptoms can vary in type and severity over time, with periods of worsening and remission of symptoms. Some symptoms may always be present. In men, schizophrenia symptoms typically start in the early to mid-20s. In women, symptoms typically begin in the late 20s. It's uncommon for children to be diagnosed with schizophrenia and rare for those older than age 45. And we have some symptoms that occur in teenagers. Schizophrenia symptoms in teenagers are similar to those in adults, but the condition may be more difficult to recognize. This may be in part because some of the early symptoms of schizophrenia in teenagers are common for typical development during teen years, such as withdrawal from friends and family, a drop in performance at school, trouble sleeping, irritability or depressed mood, lack of motivation. Compared with schizophrenia symptoms in adults, teens may be less likely to have delusions and more likely to have visual hallucinations. When you should see a doctor. People with schizophrenia often lack awareness that their difficulties stem from a mental disorder that requires medical attention. So it often falls on family and friends to get them help. How anyone watching can be helpful to anybody who you know has schizophrenia, or you may have the idea of you think that they have schizophrenia. This part's for you guys, okay? If you think someone you know may have symptoms of schizophrenia, talk to him or her about your concerns. Although you can't force someone to seek professional help, and I stress that enough, you cannot force somebody to seek help. Please do not force somebody to seek professional help. It will only make them feel like you're against them, okay? So although you can't force someone to seek professional help, you can offer encouragement and support and help your loved one find a qualified doctor or mental health professional. If your loved one poses a danger to themselves or others and can't provide his or her own food, clothing, or shelter, or if they become harmful to themselves, they start self-harming or they start harming others, you may need to call 911. If it comes down to it being the case that it's an emergency, you need to call 911 and ask the emergency responders for help so that your loved one can be evaluated by a mental health professional. In some cases, emergency hospitalization may be needed. Laws on involuntary commitment for mental health treatment vary by state. You can contact community health agencies or police departments in your area for details. Now, for the schizophrenic people that experience suicidal thoughts and behaviors, I want you to know that that is common for people with schizophrenia. And if you have a loved one who is in danger of attempting suicide, like I said, or has made an attempt to commit suicide, make sure someone stays with this person at all times, literally at all times. Or call 911 or your local emergency number immediately, or if you think you can do so safely, take the person to the nearest hospital. But worst case scenario, if you feel like this person is out of control, you're not going to be able to stop them, call 911, please. At this point, there's no other option but to call 911 and get the medical people that are trained, get them on the scene, okay? Caring for and supporting a loved one with schizophrenia can be very hard. It can be difficult to know how to respond to someone who makes strange or clearly false statements. It is important to understand that schizophrenia is a biological illness. And here are some of the things you can do to help your loved one. Get them treatment and encourage them to stay in treatment. Remember that beliefs or hallucinations seem very real to them. Tell them that you acknowledge that everyone has the right to see things their own way. Be respectful, supportive, and kind about tolerating dangerous or inappropriate behavior. And check to see if there are any support groups in your area. They actually do have support groups for people with schizophrenia, sort of like an AA group, except it's not for alcohol. It would be for people or family members or friends that are living with schizophrenia, you know? So definitely look into that. That is all that I have on schizophrenia. I do want you guys to know that the link for my fundraiser will be posted in the description. It's only $15 for a t-shirt. It comes down to $19.99 with the tax. I need to sell 4 more to meet my goal to get this batch shipped out, guys. So I would very much appreciate it if you guys could help me meet that goal. All right, and I also have this link to this wonderful book. This book is so good, y'all, that I read it on my phone, and I actually just ordered the paperback today. And I'll post the link to it. It's on Amazon. You can get it on Amazon if you have a Kindle, or if you like to read off your phone for $2.99. I don't like to read on my phone. That's why I just ordered the paperback. It's coming in the mail tomorrow. I'm actually super stoked to get it so I can finish reading it. But yes, I also have that for you guys. I also have all the other links still available. My pop socket. We got the butterfly semicolon t-shirts. We got the awareness bracelets. And we have the anxiety cubes as well. And that is all that I have for today. I love you, my beautiful butterflies, and thank you for watching.